Well, I'm putting out something here that's a little more common sense because I know a lot of times people get wrapped up in giddy rumors, and I think there's a basic overall strategy that people are being doing wrong. You're being misled in some ways. Not misled necessarily with information, but how they're going about things. First off, um, let me just put out some of the simple things here first, because like just to put set the tone or the basis for what's going on. Um, Warren Buffett, and guaranteed is, I already see what's going on pretty much. Warren Buffett is stated something, and I'm not saying because he stated it, but I can also see this. Hillary Clinton looks like um, she is somebody. They're backing her. And now let's forget about the politics for a second. Look at what she stands for and what she says she stands for, because she'll stand for anything so she gets in that office. In other words, if the people that were, or their main financial backers were, let's make America like Leave It to Beaver again, for real, she would be like that. You know what I mean? Let's make everything Mary Poppins again or something. She would be for that. Okay? So let's, get that straight. She's basically, even though she's pretty bad and opportunist, she's just a pawn. So, now, I'm going to state this. The money that's going into her coffers, I'm going to talk about that. Who actually, not specifically name names like of individuals, but I'm going to give you the entities where the individuals work who are mainly given to her. Now, I'm also going to tell you a strategy against this. So it's a little bit of a better, different approach. It's an approach that's not going to give you instant results, instant gratification, or anything like that. So maybe people aren't going to like that. But it's going to be a workable approach. Now, I also want to state this. When I'm talking about these major entities and these people that are, well, not the major entities themselves did not give to her campaign. It's individuals in these major entities. Now, when I'm talking about this, I also want you to realize that, okay, it's the top people that gave to the campaign, but I also want to make you understand that all these different layers are underneath them, and they are part of the garbage that the top people are, if you want to say that, put it that way, succinctly, in a simple way. In other words, the top people don't exist in a microcosm where they're just them acting, and that's it. It is a load of asswipes all around them at different levels that wear suits that are just looking for something, perks or bennies or money or accolades or title or position or whatever, prestige or freaking something to feed their ego. And basically, it's all the damn suits. I'll put it that way, okay? It's all the suits. The suits are scum, okay? It's not just the bankers, it's the suits. They don't do anything. And even if you get the ones that are like conservative, they're buttermilk conservative. They're buttermilk constitutional. Oh, yeah, that's too bad. That's despicable. They don't do anything. They're buttermilk. They watch Fox News and they do nothing. So, anyway, let me get on to these entities. Now, these are individuals in these entities that are the ones that are backing Hillary Clinton, but I just want to state this. Forget about the politics, because maybe you're for Hillary Clinton or whatever. I just want to tell you, this is the face of, an oligarchy that is actually running roughshod over the entire human race here in the United States. So first we got Citigroup, the individuals that are top individuals in Citigroup, number one. Goldman Sachs, DLA Piper, which is a big, maybe I said that, Piper or Piper, I'm not familiar with it. It's a big law firm, global law firm. JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, Emily's List. Time Warner, if you figure that. Skadden Arps, University of California. Sullivan and Cromwell, another attorney. Atkin Grump. And Lehman Brothers, 21st Century Fox. The media, the multimedia, entertainment industry. Every time you go to movies I got other freaking thoughts on that. I don't ever, you know, movies are free. There's always a way to get them. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Cablevision systems, like I said, entertainment, free. Kirkland and Ellis, National Amusements, Squire, Baton Boggs, and Greenberg, Tourig, attorneys, Corning Inc., and Credit Suisse. I don't see B&A on there, but I'm sure they're probably... Now, it's not the entities, it's the individuals that are in these entities, besides the political action committees, but mainly individuals. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to get? Obviously, one of the deals, obviously, besides all the freaking draconian measures that are trying to freaking take away individual rights, especially the First and Second Amendment, they're also looking for, like, possibly hookups if there's an ever, like, bailouts, if there's ever a freaking other financial situation, which probably will be coming up again. Because, like I talked about, we had a lot of acid inflation, in the equities, and all these jackasses are all invested in that crap, and they're probably going to get imploded here, maybe next year, I don't know, who cares? I'm not invested in that shit, so good. Anyway, so we talked about these jerks, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't actually say B of A, but like I said, I also want to tell you, again, it's individuals. It's human flesh and blood. It's not the entities themselves. Don't think of it like this abstract entities. And don't think, they always put this stuff, like I've showed you a picture of this corny banker in the beginning here, but it's like, it's all these suits. I remember a long time ago, I had to deal with B of A for some bullshit. A long time ago, probably like 30 years ago. I'm in a credit union. I don't deal with these jerks, man. I hate them. These other big places. And I knew about this shit from way back when. I know where, J.P. Morgan Bank and all that kind of crap, right? And the Rockefeller Bank. But, say for instance you had your money and say J.P. Morgan, whatever. And I know I dealt in Bank of America one time, and I just says, I'm taking my money out of here. And the lady looked at me and says, which is why? Because you're a bunch of Wall Street scumbags. And they don't care. I mean, you tell them that kind of shit. I didn't care. It's like, I just laughed at them. I said, you're a bunch of Wall Street scumbags. And I'm kind of a wise ass when I actually deal with some of these times people. And like, I have a different way of doing things. I kind of do things in a joke. So, and usually that works a lot better because, you don't piss people off too much, but you still got the message across. So, I have to tell you this. People are looking at, like, this ivory tower. They're saying, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Well, you can knock it down the ivory tower in a lot of different ways. Don't partake in their bullshit, for one. And you can actually play like, hey, I'm your friend, and find out, what's going on. Now, the other thing is, I think that's like what Trump's doing, too. A lot of people are getting pissed off at me for that crap. I've said this. I thought that in the beginning, and I said, well, he signed a thing where he's not going to run third party. Well, he's probably going to run third party, because I know the Republicans aren't going to freaking nominate him. And you know what that's going to do? Hillary be president, but maybe she'll die. I don't know. Maybe she's got a brain cancer. I don't know. Who knows? Don't worry about it too much, because, maybe she'll take a dump while she's doing her inauguration. That'll be because she's having problems with it in that area. But, the thing is, that's why I got to make these jokes, because people don't get too upset. The thing is, when you're going against, actually, this is another thing, too. Even like, say, in military strategy, or like, whatever, just give it as an analogy. You don't go against a stronghold. It's like ridiculous. That's a dumb thing. You always make an end run around things. You try to whittle down this. You try to, especially when you're going up against something too big. So, but these things that are too big, these entities that are too big, and, too big's to fail in Wall Street, everybody's got their money in there. And then they're bitching. And you know how they freaking con these people? Oh, put your money with us because you'll get more money. And, they fleece them every 7 years anyway. You know what I mean? They forget, and then they fleece them every 7 years. Because everybody's looking for a fast buck. And, the what do you call it? The casino freaking con artists appeal to those people all the time. My method is slow and methodical. Real assets, real goods, silver coinage, fine. Beans, bullets, and bacon, whatever the hell it is. Bacon if you're, yeah, bacon. Yeah, it's one of the Muslim tools. Anyway, but also want to tell you, yeah, there is also an elite out there besides the skull and bones. There's a skull and key. Yeah, Hillary Clinton's a Yaley, whatever the hell you call them. And the elite are running the show, and I could make a big drama video about the skull and key. This is from the 1800s or something. Oh yeah, they own everything, and I could put some Darth Vader music in the background. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to tell you stuff that's freaking more practical. Do not partake in any major media shit, major entertainment crap. Don't give them a nickel. Don't partake in any of this freaking bullshit, or maybe do it a little bit. Places like that are giving all the money to these politicians that are going to try to run roughshod over all our rights. Screw all of them, man. And the problem is, maybe the problem is this: a lot of Americans are too soft, and once they will not worry about some shit until it's probably too late and their back is to the wall. So, that's one of the things too. They're kind of playing a shrewd game on the top. That's they're basically playing a game with America to the Americans, like boil them in water like a frog. You're kind of doing a little bit at a time so they don't notice it too much. And some people are seeing it, but most people still aren't. But I also have to say this: you do have a lot of advantages in this way, since you are not part of their bullshit plan. You're not part of any plan. You got carte blanche in what you can do. You don't answer to nobody. When you got these people in Skull and Key and Skull and Bones and all these elitist Mason organizations and all this garbage going on, devil worshiping stuff, they got plans and they got everybody around them trying to implement these plans. You as an individual, you can do whatever you want. You could stick it back to these jerks too, no problem. I'm not going to give you I'm not going to give you any ideas. A lot of shit you can do. But, I don't want to say too much. But the thing is, the major media, too, they're surrounded by, basically, they're insulated so much from, the public that they're out of touch in a lot of ways, too. And I know, the public's actually waking up to the major media, too. I mean, the major media is actually getting less and less and less and less. But the thing is, they're still pretty much on the top. But I do think there's going to be a major tumbling down for a lot of these people because, say, for instance, Hillary Clinton gets elected and she's healthy, right? Well, there could be a time where possibly all the people that put her in office, all the big money that put her in office, collapse. And, that's not so crazy to think, because you know why? In the event of a major conflict, electronic counts are going down. In the event of any type of catastrophic EMP, which is another thing, I don't think that's too far outside of a chance, because I remember when they talked about the Carrington event of 1859. If that happened today, man, freaking total freaking havoc. It's not something you should count on, but total havoc in the financial markets. I don't think there's going to be that much of an outside chance of that happening over the next 20 or 30 years due to the what's going on in the Earth's magnetosphere and also the solar activity that's going on. It's not, but that's a long period of time to wait. But when it happens, it's going to be like, total catastrophe for the elite, which is fine, for me. I think well before that even happens, we may be involved in World War III. And, anybody in New York City, that's, where all this crap is actually coming from, it's going to be done. So that'll be the political power base of all the bullshit that's going on. So I think, I think a lot of times the elite actually do outsmart themselves. But in the meantime, I don't know why people are supporting them. They are. They almost all the time they are. The best you get out of suits is, I watch Fox News. Oh, Fox News. Shit. That's another freaking game. But in the case of, like, Hillary, too, she could probably have a lot more problems going on, too, with her, even if she wins. And I know a lot of people are freaking getting all worried about that stuff. I don't like that prospect of her winning the presidency, of course. But I also realize it must be hell being a Secret Service agent working for a bitch like that. And I'd imagine they're going to play little games with her big time, too. And the other thing is, too, I also realized that she can have a lot of health problems even from her sexual escapades. If you want to look at another blog out there, I'll mention one. It's called the Senator Hillary blogspot.com, I believe it is. It's not. I don't produce it, but I know the information on there is accurate. And if you really want to see some crazy stuff about Hillary, there's a lot of shit on there that you wouldn't believe. And when I'm showing these legs here with the two skulls. It's crazier than that. Okay? I'll tell you that right now. So I also kind of imagine where some of her health problems might be coming from, too. Probably like Bill Clinton, who should be dead a long time ago with all the broads he screwed around with. But, I don't know, maybe there's something he's got he's got some magic pills or some shit. But let me put it to you this way. The thing is that you as individuals do not concentrate so much on this freaking giddy rumor elite bullshit because it ain't doing you no good. It's kind of good to understand what's going on, yeah, but the thing is, the real problem is people are partaking in giving to these elite bastards, and on top of it, not only is the elite the problem is all the layers below it. In other words, all the freaking suits, period. The suits are screwed up. They are. How do I know? Because I've been around those shitheads plenty. They're scumbags. And everybody. They're worms, man. It's like they're buttermilk. They're not going to do nothing. So, when it comes down to it, you as an individual can actually do a lot, but don't try to freaking change the world overnight. And, the other thing is, you don't want to try to, go against the castle directly. That's not the right strategy. Because, it's like people out there, remember they're Occupy Wall Street when they're out there, Wall Street. You know what? That did nothing, right? I knew it would do nothing. Yeah, maybe you say it did something. Yeah. The best thing to do is, well, you really can't you can't convince the rest of the people that, if there's people that want to freaking get out there and, maybe you could tell people not to invest in all these people, not to use the major media or whatever, fine. They might not listen to you, fine. Like, actually, I'm an advocate of, like I said, silver coinage. And I'm telling people to stay in that and stick in with that for a particular reason, because you're not giving your money to these bastards, any of them, any of these financial institutions. That's a very important consideration. Now, I can actually go on to other areas, and I know there's things going on in Oregon, and talk about that. And I ain't going to talk about that because I'd have a total different strategy around that kind of shit. And I don't think I can talk about that. A very different strategy, a very different way of doing things. And it's based upon, it's almost like the Mossad. Or maybe the French Foreign Legion, or what anybody call them, the French Resistance against the Nazis, You can't freaking take them on head on, You got to do things. You got to do things here and there. But let me put it to you this way. Yeah, bankers, the house always wins. Yeah, I know. The house always wins, right? Actually, this banker stuff, when I'm looking at this is reminding me of Trump. You know, the house always wins. He freaking got casinos. I know somebody get mad at that, but I think this guy's a Trojan horse. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong on that deal. I know I mentioned it's something a separate subject in this video. But if I'm wrong, great. But if I'm right, I got a lot. Well, I did as much as I possibly could to warn people. And hopefully, if he does wind up on a third party, that some of the work I did here initially will alert enough people that, hey, the scam is in. And we can make life hell for these jackasses. We could very well. So, anyway, in the future here, though, I'm going to actually put out some more videos. Hopefully, I'm going to be getting this Spooky 2 plasma device here pretty soon, or whatever that comes out when they do that production run. Separate subject, because that's another thing. The medical mafia is just as bad as the banksters. And not that it's going to be some kind of cure-all device, but it might be an assistance to your better health. And I think maybe, hopefully, a major assistance, but we'll find out. I'm not going to make any crazy claims on anything. And I'm not going to make any crazy claims about silver going to hundreds of dollars an ounce, even though I just put a video that it possibly could. It might. You never know. It might. There's always the outside chance the elite could fail. Not the first time. Not the last time. And if you look at the history of Rome, there's been many times the brightest and the best have failed dramatically and quickly. That happened many times in Rome. As a matter of fact, I've read Edward Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. I don't know if my cat stepped on the mic there. Mr. Rocky, cut that out. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. I must have read that 7 times amongst 50 other books on the Roman Empire. Very interesting reading, because the Romans are like us. We're turning into an empire. We're no longer a republic. We're turning into an empire. And things are going to go bad from here on in, but it's not going to fall that quickly. Not as quickly as you think. But one thing that's always existed, even way back when things are going bad in Rome, there was always the Roman honor and virtue. And there's still the American honor and virtue. And that's something that the elite fear. Believe me, they do. They don't like mice that roar. And they especially don't like cats that roar. Right, cat? Cats are even more deadly than mice. So, be a cat, be stealthy, and outsmart these bastards. And like I said, I'm going to repeat this again. It's not entities. It's not the elite. It's not these abstracts. It's flesh and blood. And it's not only the ones that are very top flesh and blood. It's all the layers below it. And 99% of the time, they're suits. Suits. I got no respect for them at all.